Hello, good evening out there. Thank you for joining me again. My name is Dr. Toyin Ajayi-Osakwe, and I'm here again to do what I know how to do best. I'm here alone today. Sunshine is not here, and I want to wish everybody a compliment of the season, and we all pray that we'll have a wonderful Christmas and New Year celebration ahead. Let me start by telling us, just to tell us how we have been able to go through the year. We know that it has been wonderful. Let's say it in that way, in our atmosphere, in our country, and everything that we have gone through all through the year. But I'm here to encourage us, for us to continue to forge forward, to continue to move forward and begin to hope, because where there is hope, there is life. So I will be talking about some kind of recap of some of the things we have done over the months, and then to those of you who have been with us for over the months, I want to thank you. I want to appreciate everybody for sticking by, for staying with us, for believing in all that we have been saying and we have been doing. And then I really want us to put into practice everything we have learned in this program over the months and over the years, so that we can make our society a very beautiful place, to prepare the template for the next generation, so that we will be able to have something to say that yes, we actually lived, that we did not just exist. This is Prime Parent. I'll go on a very short break. When I return, I have something very little to talk to us about, and then we'll now go into some of our recaps as we get along. Please don't touch the dial. You are welcome back. This is Prime Parent with Dr. Toyin Ajayi-Osakwe. This program is proudly sponsored by Foundation for Family Reformation. We are here to encourage us and to help today's parents raising the 21st century child, and every other thing that also relates with our families. Briefly, I want to talk to us about what I called teachable moments. Teachable moments. What are teachable moments? Talking about how to teach some certain absolutes, some certain values to children at a particular time that will remain with them for the rest of their lives. So teachable moments are instances where a child is involved in a particular thing, or he does a particular thing, or there's a circumstance that surrounds an event, and you now use that event to teach an absolute. You use it to teach the child something significant, a value that sticks with them. So that is called teachable moment, and I tell parents, don't lose it. Sometimes you may never have that opportunity again. Teachable moments, some can come in a lifetime, and some can come at a particular period that if you don't seize that opportunity, you may not be able to have that privilege again. So once you notice, or you are involved with a child on an issue, that you need to say something in particular, please don't lose it. Let me give an example. My second son was I think I was called and I was told that he was crying. He was in the toilet. He was crying. Just this week. You understand? So when the mom got there and he saw him, what happened? The young man has gone to take the iPad that where the mom has hidden it. You understand? He went there secretly to take it, and then he went into the toilet to use it. I'm sure a lot of parents can relate with what I'm saying. You understand? He hid himself in the toilet, pressing it so that, and then sometimes they will now spend some time there. When you are calling them or you need their attention, they will tell you that I'm still pooping, I'm still there. At least you cannot tell somebody that is pooping that you should carry poop outside. So they will use that opportunity to do as much as they want to do with the material there. What now happened to him? Unfortunately, as of the time he was trying to wash up himself, iPad fell inside the toilet bowl. Bam. And no, the thing went into the buckets of water. You understand? And then he tries to bring it out. In fact, he almost ran out naked, because he knows that yes, everything is cast now. So he now tries to go and put it inside gari. He want to put it inside the rice, all those kind of a thing. And the mom, as she said, he got there. Those are the time you want to lose your head, you want to lose the temper, you want to go all out. No, because I've said it several times also to her, that is not the time to begin to shout. That is not the time to. The child already knows to a very large extent, yes, he has done something, and then you can see the remorsefulness. He was weeping, he broke down. You understand? So he now take that time to now explain. When I came, I reinforced it. I said you can see that there is time for everything in life. What you were told, now this is the teachable, this is the teaching of that moment. What you were told was that after your exams, we will give you this pad for the holiday. Now you have 2 days to go to finish, but you were not patient. And I went ahead to say that you know that this can even cause something more. This part can be somebody's life that you may damage, and then there may not be a reversal. That you will need to be patient. Patience is one value. It's one thing every living being must learn. There is time for everything in life. I'm speaking to somebody out there. There's a certain decisions you want to take right now that is not appropriate as of this time. You will need to wait a little for the appropriate time. So I went ahead to let him realize that if only you have obeyed, because another point is obedience. Patience, obedience. You disobeyed your parents. You disobeyed what you were told. You were not, patient, and you did not obey. If you have obeyed, we will not be here today. Now, for the holiday, because the next point is the consequence. Let them know that there is always consequences. It's because there are no consequences. That is why corruption is ridding our land till tomorrow. People will go, they will steal money in offices, and then we keep clapping for them. Do you understand? People that ought to be in jail, ought to have face firing squad, we will clap for them. And all of us collectively today, we will be crying and be grinding and be wailing under this heavy weight of terrible mismanagement of our common wealth. Consequences. So the consequences to him now, there will not be iPad for the holiday. iPad has gone. And there may not be any other. And as a parent, you will need to put your feet on the ground on some certain decisions. It is when you begin to waver, and then you allow them to catch you up emotionally, and then they break you. Then you are not worth to be a parent. As I come and say to parents, I say parenting is not meant for cowards. There are situations whereby you will need to be who you are and get through it, no matter what it is, because there is a message you are driving forward. And until that message is pushed on and established, you don't rest. So that is the way it is. One, you teach the situation, you established it, then you tell them about the consequences. When a child knows that, or when human being, not even a child, because you see, when we grow into adulthood. There's one of these young lady that got pregnant at the GSS, that's SS1, sometimes ago here in Lasut. And then, normally I've seen parents, I've seen mothers who will say, let's go and pull it out. And I said, well, I don't do that. But thank God for the kind of mother that we were dealing with at this time. He said, you know what? You will go to school with that pregnancy. You will resole another uniform, because this one we get tight with time as the baby grows. Do you understand? You will be a lesson to every other girl there. Let them see how it is for somebody to get into, to hurry into their future. Because you see, this thing is waiting for you at the future, but because there's lack of patience, as I've taught my son, you rush into it. Do you know that she stood her ground? In fact, the day she fell into labor, they call her from home to come and carry her. Say yes, that is exactly what she wants her to see. And that lesson stays with that young woman for the rest of her life. As a matter of fact, she will pass it down to her own children, because it wasn't easy. Whatever you want to hide, coming into school with pregnancy, everybody, in fact, you are the talk. You in fact, there are some certain things you can. Somebody will come say, hey, you are going to damage your psychological. Oh, by the time she was doing shocky, she was not damaging herself at that time. Or was she not? So she does not know. These are some of the things we need to face. There will always be consequences. You have a male child who is misbehaving there, and now what you do is to just go around, just patch them here and there. You see, if you defend them today, tomorrow you will need a lawyer to defend them in the court of law. Do you understand? And if it continues that way, that they may end up in jail or something worse. All right, I'll go on a very short break, and we'll return shortly. You are, even if the world moves on, I won't lose the love we made. If tomorrow ever forgets, I'll still find you anyway. Maybe time can heal what's broken. Maybe pain can teach the soul. But I'm scared when dawn is coming, you'll be gone before I know. If tomorrow forgets your name, I'll keep calling like a prayer. Alright, you welcome back. Now to join me in here so that I will not sound like the lonely voice in the desert crying like John the Baptist. If you want to join the conversation, just for you to say hello, or you want to remind us any of the topics that touches you, especially through the months, through the year, the number to call is 080-5897-5897. 080-5897-5897. For those of you that are just joining me, this is Prime Parent with Dr. Toyin Ajayi-Osakwe, and this program is proudly sponsored by Foundation for Family Reformation. We are here to assist families, to assist parents, and also to talk about issues that affect all our, our societies. so that we can be a very lovely place to be. I remember that during the course of the year, we talk about the legacy of love. Okay, I think those are one of the very, very touching. If there is any of these topics that touches me personally, and I think this is one topic that we discuss extensively, and talking about what legacy of love, what legacy we are leaving behind as a parent. For the fact that you have a child, you are already you already are fixing yourself to leave behind a legacy. And we say it over and over again that it is your product that will determine how well you have lived. Okay, if you are able to raise honorable men or women who have been able to change the world and make something positive to happen, then you have lived well. But if in the other way you have successfully raised a weapon of mass destruction, like today we see all over the places, we see all kind of terrorism all over the world. There are some that are living with us presently. Do you sometimes sit down and think that some of these people that are committing these heinous crimes, terrible things, they were actually given birth to by some people, by some parents? They actually did their naming ceremony. People ate and danced on that day when they were born. These demons, you understand? So somewhere, somehow, somebody failed to do their job appropriately, and today everybody has to pay for it. Yes, you may not have been as bad as the people that are carrying guns around, but there are other people who are in our offices today, who live so large, and yet they even kills more, they destroys more. So it has to do with what you have been able to input, what you have been able to put out there, how you have been able to raise the next generation. And that's why some of us put it on top of upon ourselves to do this, speaking these words of truth day in, day out, encouraging each other so that we can be able to do something positive in our environment today. You see that today, the whole Africa, they want to go to the West mainly. Sometimes I see our brothers and sisters crossing the Sahara on foot. A lot of them will die just because they are escaping from something, and in escaping from death, they enter into death. Then where are they going? They are going to a particular place where it is perceived that there is life there. Now you now went forward to find out who and how those places be made good. There are human beings like us there. Now, do you understand? They were able to make their society a place that is attracted to other people. So why can't we do the same here? You understand what I'm trying to say? Why can't we do the same? Why can't we put our resources right? Why can't we have people who have a large heart that can receive humanity and give it out? Okay? So I talk about legacy of love, and I define love as a deliberate sacrifice, okay, and genuine caring affection with element of compassion, respect, and commitment. Okay, a deliberate sacrifice and genuine caring affection. People who chooses to do good to the next person, they do it not because they are really expecting anything in return. As of the time you are expecting something in return, then you have already had your own reward. So people go out, Genesis, I'm trying to say, I am a medical doctor. I know some of the things we have done in hospitals to save lives. There was a particular situation like that I cannot even say this thing in where the ethics is being discussed, because I was consumed with passion. What happened? I was the anesthetist putting a patient to sleep, and this patient is running out of blood. We need to inject blood at that time. Now we are sent to Lagos to get us blood over time, over 2-3 hours. At a point where we are losing this patient, we were told that the traffic on the Third Mainland Bridge cannot be contained. Do you know that I left this patient to go and drop my own blood? By the time I came back, I didn't tell anybody, because it would be considered stupid and suicidal and stupid, and that I feel that I want to be, what we call heroism. No! I was consumed with the love to save a life. I had to go down and then come, and then they brought that blood until we gave it as bolus to this woman on the bed. I didn't even know her. If I see her today, I cannot even recognize her. Yet there are some people who fashion guns to go out to take down lives. And there are people who are in the place of authority, because we just need to say these things, who could actually forestall and bring these things down. Yet it has festered for so long. Why? I'm challenging every one of us for this end of this year, that in the new year, let's begin to do things more, positive. Let's see how far we can go with our own society, and let's stop running away. I'll go on a very short break. When I return, I will be rounding up. Please don't touch the dial. Thank you for joining me again. My name is Dr. Toyin Ajayi-Osakwe, and if you want to join this conversation, the number is 08058975897. So I'm still talking about some of our topics that we discussed over the time, and another striking topic that I have is domestic violence. That's another very, very, very powerful one, okay, that we discuss over the time. And now you can send us some WhatsApp messages. I will read it here. Just say something to me, okay, so that I'm not the lonely voice crying in the wilderness. And I said domestic violence is an abusive behavior in which an individual gains power over another person, or both, or group of people are in power tussle with the family, which primarily leads to disaffection, disharmony, and family disintegration. Okay, and this could be physical, it can be psychological, and then it could be emotional aggressions. These are the things we witness in our homes today. People, their homes are hot. Okay, men run away from homes. Wives are being terribly maltreated. Somebody that is once called a bride is living like an homeless individual. She practically lives alone and does everything alone. The children today in most of our homes, they live like strangers to their parents. Our society, is completely turned upside down. So these are the things that we discussed, and I said that look, we just need to do, let's try to do a little more. Okay, violence at home is a war against not just the home, is a war against an entire generation. It's a war against the future of a nation. When there is war, when it's a domestic war, is something that tears down the fabrics of our society completely. If you know the extent at which, these things damages, you will not even want to step into it. You just imagine an administrator who is having a very tough time in his home, comes into the office, and then he becomes an agent of destruction. Anybody comes along his way, he has to, he tears them down because he's carrying something from home that is making him to, that he cannot handle, and all what he can do is to unleash it on every individual that comes across him, and he destroys other people's destinies in the process. You see children go to schools, they cannot concentrate. Some of them get into cultism, they go into drugs. Girls turn into, they go into prostitution. So when you hear anything, domestic violence is evil, is terrible, is something that should be terribly not encouraged. I will continue next week in recounting some of those things that we have, because my time is fast spent. So I'll say I have like 2 more weeks into the Christmas, and then in the new year we'll begin something new. So I will say happy Merry Christmas in advance, and I pray that we have lovely and a very beautiful Christmas celebration ahead. I will see you next week. My name is Dr. Toyin Ajayi-Osakwe. Thank you for your time.